Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar on DigiFed, which is a new innovation action supported by the Horizon 2020 program to drive the digital revolution across European SMEs. So my name is Alès. I am an innovation business developer at BlueMorpho. BlueMorpho is a member of the consortium on this project, and we are going to be an innovation management partner. I am very pleased to welcome you to the third webinar of our webinar series, where we will talk about the second part of our technical partners offer. We will start this webinar by reviewing quickly the description of the project and the application process that our coordination team explained in detail in our first webinar. If you didn't get the chance to attend, the video and the slides of our two previous webinars are available on the DigiFed website in the section Webinar. In the second part of our webinar, we will first welcome Alex Gluhak from Digital Catapult. Then we will welcome Marcello Coppola from ST Microelectronics, Jure Triller from University of Ljubljana, Jesus Miguel Rolando Lopez from Ikerblan, and finally Andres Pop from the University of Budapest. So before we start, I would like to remind you that this webinar is animated today by BlueMorpho and that the slides and the recording of this webinar will be made available for you on the DigiFed website. Also, there is a question box in the webinar's toolbox on the side, so please feel free to enter all your questions as we are going through with this webinar. We will address them to our speakers during our Q&A session at the very end of this webinar. So before we start with a quick reminder of the project, we would like to know a bit more about the audience. So this is why you will now see popping up on your screen a question right now. So you can choose the option that fits your company the most. So what type of organization do you work for? Do you work for a large company, a mid-cap, a SME, or a startup, or an association, cluster, or RTO? I'll give you a few seconds to answer the question. All right, I will now close this poll. So, about DigiFed. So DigiFed is a EU-funded innovation action on the Horizon 2020 program, and it's dedicated to drive innovation across all European SMEs via the large-scale adoption of cyber-physical systems. It gathers 12 partners from 9 European countries. It will last for 3 years and will make 3.9 million euros available as direct support to SMEs. So what is the DigiFed offer? It's to have application experiments projects that will go through a selection process to be able to get 55,000 euros to carry out digital products. DigiFed will bring technical expertise by CPS major experts and innovation management expertise as well. There will be 2 types of application experiments. The first one is the single application experiment, where one company partners up with a technical partner from DigiFed. It's from DigiFed partners. The company has the idea of an innovation and it has a clear market vision, but it needs technical support, and the company can get up to 55,000 euros. Then we will have the twin application experiments. In that case, 2 companies partner up to apply on this kind of project. The company one has the idea of an innovation and a clear market vision, but it needs technical support that is provided by the company 2. In that case, that can get 2 times 55,000 euros, so that's 110,000 euros in total. So 40 projects will be funded throughout the 3 years duration of the project. There will be 3 calls, and the very first one started on the 17th of March and will close 12 weeks later on the 9th of June at 5 p.m. What will happen next is that this open call that I already said started on the 17th of March will close on the 9th of June at 5 p.m. After that, there will be an evaluation committee in July before the selection is confirmed by the European Commission. All companies will receive the notification of selection on the 4th and 5th of August in order to be able to sign the agreement contract and launch the project in September. How to apply on this project? Well, all the information will be made available on the website at the address that you can see on the presentation and that has been sent to you in the chat box. Again, I remind you that the slides will be made available soon on the website on the webinar section. So before the 9th of June, you will need to first register on the website, then submit 2 proposals, one written in English about 10 pages that will describe the technical aspects of the experiment, and the other proposal is more business oriented and it's a video of a recorded pitch, and it's 5 minutes oral presentation in English. You will be provided with guidelines to apply to this project through webinars and bootcamps. However, the bootcamps were supposed to be face-to-face meetings, and with the current situation with the virus, we might need to change and we might need to do them online, but we will obviously let you know once we know for sure about it. So now, are you eligible to apply on this project? First of all, you need to submit your proposal on time. Then you need to make sure that it's a cross-border proposal because you won't be able to access the funding if you partner up with a company or a research organization from your own country. Then regarding the company profile, you need to be a startup, an SME or a mid-cap. You need to have the required resources to be able to implement the project. You also will need to agree to sign the contracts that will be drafted and made available for the selected companies before September. And finally, you need to be from an EU member country or an EU associated country. The list of eligible countries are available on the website you see on the presentation. So lastly, and before we start with our technical partners presentation, what will be the funding? So it can cover up to 70% of your cost. It will be a maximum of 55,000 euros per company per project, meaning that a company can be on several projects, but will be able to get a maximum of 100,000 euros on this innovation action. Also, there will be a maximum of 100,000 euros in total if you already received funds from another action on the SAE initiative or the I4MS initiative. All right, so that's it for the DigiFed presentation. I will now give the floor to Alex Glurak from Digital Catapult. Alex, the floor is yours. Alex?
Sorry, I realized I was muted. Okay, so I didn't want to disturb you. So hello, everyone. First of all, my name is Alex Glurak. I work for the Digital Catapult, which is like a UK innovation technology center. We are a partner of DigiFed, and we, apart from providing expertise and also our sort of time to support the experiments, we also provide a set of facilities and offerings that could be taken up by interested proposers to further develop their IoT CPS products and services. The Digital Catapult has 2 offerings. The first one is the Future Networks Lab, which is a facility that is located in London and has also extensions to other parts in the UK. So what is it? It is basically, for us, a collaborative space where we provide access to let's say state-of-the-art IoT connectivity testbeds, but also test networks across the UK that can be used to then prototype and pilot specific IoT CPS solutions. But also at the same time, we provide also a set of measurement capabilities that could be used for, let's say, benchmarking a product or solution or identifying improvements of how those could be made better. Just to kind of give you an understanding of what sort of technologies we offer as part of this lab. So we've got access to all sorts of LPWAN technologies, so low power WAN, like LoRaWAN, Sigfox, Narrowband, IoT, LTE-M, as well as 5G. It's all under one roof. We also have access to a larger LoRaWAN testbed, which is deployed in London, but also in other parts of the UK, such as Northern Ireland and Sunderland area, so the northeast. And we also have basically a 5G test network that is operational in Brighton that can be used as well for companies who are interested in experimenting with these emerging new technologies. And obviously, as part of that, we provide also access and expertise equipment for, like, let's say, performance benchmarking in terms of, let's say, evaluating energy consumption and also evaluating network protocols, how effectively they operate. It's an interesting space because as part of the space, we don't only have the sort of networks and the capabilities, but we also have a sort of set of partnerships in place with some leading vendors, which is, for instance, BT, PTC, IBM, ServiceNow, Semtech, Texas Instruments, for example. I think Era is one of our recent new additions, and Sony. So these are like partners who basically operate in the IoT space, and potentially those partnerships could be also leveraged or brought into kind of some conversations that we have in terms of, like, maybe pilot or exploitation phase of this project. And so how can you use this lab? It's really like to kind of you know, understand how well your sort of product solution offers, also with respect to other solutions on the market. Identify how you can improve your product, maybe in terms of energy consumption, maybe in terms of performance, and also we're looking at the ability, obviously, to sort of test and pilot on those network infrastructures. Okay, so that's the first offering. Alice, could you switch to the next slide, please? Okay, so the other offering really looks more at the kind of computational side of things. So we've also realized that a lot of the startups that we work with, and also in the IoT and cyber physical space, may apply and use some AI for their end-to-end product and service. But an issue is often that training your models, or like you know, when you construct your algorithms that you use, it may be quite computationally expensive, and computation also costs money. so that's another issue, obviously. And what we sort of like have devised is an accelerator program, which is called Machine Intelligence Garage, that sort of helps then resource-constrained startups access let's say expertise in AI and machine learning, but also compute resource. And what we offer here basically is basically then access to some DGX1 servers. These are like obviously servers used often for like training machine learning models, but we also have access to cloud credits and vouchers from a few of our partners, such as like Amazon, Google Cloud, and also I think Microsoft, if I'm right, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry. And so basically, this is additional compute resource that could be made accessible for an experiment if this experiment basically requires such resource, and it's obviously computational constraint. Sorry, I must retract. So it's not Microsoft, but it's NVIDIA. So Google, NVIDIA, and AWS are our partners. And what we also offer is because you know the complexity of building sort of AI based products and services, you know, let's say concerns around bias in the data and how they operate may also basically have certain ethical implications of your product design. And we provide also basically support for potentially ethics reviews of your kind of solution, or your AI solution, or AI's inspired solution. And this is also made accessible for this program. And yeah, so what is it useful for? Obviously, AI startups, scale-ups who want to bring products to market in an ethical way. Obviously, keep in mind this is still an IoT CPS call, so you must have basically this element, I guess, as part of your solution, an IoT element as part of your solution. And yeah, obviously advice on AI ethics as well. Okay, that's all from my end.
All right, thank you, Alex, for your presentation. Before we hear more about ST microelectronics technology, same as before, we would like to ask you a quick question about Alex's presentation. So, are you interested in digital categories technology? You should now see popping it up on your screen. All right, I will close this poll and I will give the floor to Marcelo. So Marcelo, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Marcello Coppola. I'm working at the ST Microelectronics Center in France. And today I'm presenting you the STM32. So what is STM32 is really the brain of many IoT or industrial IoT applications. So using STM32, you are able to run your novel IoT. You are able to build this novel IoT device. And then the type of application you can run on the side of the STM32 is quite broad. Today we are able to address a different kind of market, spanning for smart industry, smart city, smart home, smart things. At the end, what we provide is really a very large portfolio of products able to mix and match what is your requirement. Just to give you an idea, today with the STM32, we have 15 serial products. These give us at least 50 product lines. What is important is really when you have in mind your application, your product, using our solution, you are able to build very quickly your product from the idea. You can really reach in a very quick manner your prototype, and then you can move very quick to the final product. What is also worthwhile to mention today, the maturity of STM32 is quite a solid actor on the marketplace. We give to all our partners 10 years of guarantee on the support. So this means when you use something today for at least 10 years, you are able to find a component on the market. And then on top of them, we still have a lot of compatibilities between different versions of our STM32. In DigiFed, what ST is able to provide you is really all the elements to build your application. So this means to provide you the board able to run your application, and also giving you the possibility to show to build your proof of concept in a very quick manner. On top of it, in order to execute, to develop your application, you need software developing tools. And today, ST provide you most of the software developing tools able to build your application. So you are able, using our tool, to configure, to debug, program, and monitor everything in your system. All those tools is free, so you don't need to pay any strange license. We provide everything for free. And then also the ecosystem in terms of tooling or operating system is quite large, and you are able to access very easy to those elements. What is really the selling point giving us this large success on the market is really Today, depending which kind of macro you are going to use, you can decide if you need a very high performance macro, or you can need something very cost effective solution, or if you need something targeting really low power, or you need something with a lot of activity. Depends on what you need, you can choose the appropriate macro, and then you can build your application on top of it. What is also important, ST is also providing, we have a lot of partnership with the major cloud providing worldwide. So using our macro, you can have some facilities to connect your device to the cloud. Today we have several examples connecting our device with Amazon, Microsoft, Google, IBM, and so on. The list is really huge. The way how you are able to connect, there are several ways. So we provide a lot of connectivities in our macro, so you can span DB, from LoRa, you can use Wi-Fi, Ethernet 6.4, or can use really Bluetooth or other kind of technology. So at the end, using our solution or to apply to DigiFed, you are able to access to STM32 for free. You are able to develop your application, and then you are able really to realize in a very simple way your final product. So if you can change the slide. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Today, as I mentioned before, we have a different product. As you can see here, those are really type of chip we have produced. For each these products, we're able to select, we can provide the appropriate board in order to build your application. In general, you select your product depending really on the characteristic of your application. For instance, if you need really to be very low cost and ultra low power, you can target something what we call the STM32L0. But if you need something more sophisticated, for instance, if you need a solution integrating Bluetooth, you can target what we call the STM32WB. So this allowed you really to target to find the best chip enable can allow you to build your application, your product. What is also very important for all those devices, we provide an extra security level compared to other solutions on the market. Using our chip, we give you always some security feature, protecting your product from hacking, from any kind of problem you can face when you add the connectivity. And for this reason, we have launched last year two new family of products. One is the L5, the other is the MP1. These two products introduce the hardware security. So this allowed you to split your application in to define what is secure, what is not secure. In this way, you are able to connect to the cloud in a very secure manner. So all the issues you have in most of IoT products today, you are able to solve with this kind of device. At the same time, you are able to provide on the market a new product really differentiate with the competition, because you can give extra security, especially when you connect to the cloud. Then I would like also in DigiFed to push to a new product, is what we call STM32MP1, is the product on the right hand side on the top. This is a product we call a microprocessor, an APU. The difference compared to the other product is in this product we are able to run Linux in a manner. So this means you are able to run your Linux application together with your real-time application. In fact, this product support is a multi-core chip, providing a real microcontroller where you can run your real-time task. At the same time, you have some multi-core able to run your favorite Linux distribution, and then we have also an embedded GPU taking care of the graphics. So this is really a new product able to address really a lot of problems, also to be used in the different area on the market. So I think this product can really open the idea to new application. What is really nice in this product is really compared to other solutions. The cost is very simple. Today we are able to offer you really some developing board where you can build very quick your application, and then you can really show how you are able to combine real time with Linux. This product today use in terms to support real time we have M4, while to support Linux we use the A7 core. What is also important in this product to integrate hardware security. So this means using this core you are able to split again your application on the secure part and not secure part. So this means you can decide if you need to store your key in some specific area. We have all the means for doing that. You don't need to really to develop everything on this. We provide all the library in order to make very simple the usage. What we do in this product, we do in all our products. So on top of the tooling, we provide a lot of software for free. You can use just to for your application, and then you can build really the full system in a very simple way. This is really very good things for a small company needed to be quick on the market to show very quick how their idea is very innovative. So if you are really interested, please apply to this offer. We are able really willing to work to support you in building your application, and we are really happy at the end if you are a successful company using our product. So that's it.
All right, thank you, Marcelo. So same as Digital Catapult, you will see a question popping up on your screen right now. Are you interested in STM32? So I'll give you a few seconds to answer before I give the floor to Jure from University of Ljubljana. I will give you a few more seconds and close this poll in 3, 2, 1. All right. So Jure.
Yes, thank you, Alice. So hello to all the viewers. This is Jure Triller from University of Ljubljana. Our Digital Innovation Hub at Faculty of Electrical Engineering has quite a few offers with potential to be integrated to CPS solutions. So I will try to make this very brief. So to get started, the first technology is so-called Percipio Big Data Analytics tool. And this slogan, find the unknowns and discover new insights, directly reflects the promise that with this tool, the customers will not overlook relevant information, but will get an edge to overcome the blind spot problem of nearly all companies. The focus on existing business model quite often drives the executives to overlook the future opportunities and risks. So the tool combines different sources of information and with its algorithms to provide a holistic picture about both scientific and technical developments, as well as trends being of high relevance for current and future business development. The database contains more than 250 million of technical and scientific articles, and on top of that, more than 1 million of relevant social and news items per day. All these data are summarized into a few dashboards using context-based analytics algorithms where the context is selected by the customer. So moving on to next slide. Okay, so the next one is the one that I like the most because of this. It's prototyping and potential and its simplicity. It's named SWETHER. It's electrical switch with Ethereum blockchain support. Well, basically, this blockchain-based end-to-end prototype system comprises of IoT devices and decentralized applications and user interfaces on the other end. It enables control of electric relay switch via Ethereum blockchain transactions. And the users can, in one use case that we promote most often, is the one where users can reserve electric charging slot and pay for consumed time and energy via Ethereum blockchain network. It's just a practical demonstration of blockchain technologies and IoT devices. And this prototype consists of smart contracts where all the logic is executed, and also the user and administration web applications that run on proprietary servers, but can also be run like standalone on the Ethereum network. This solution enables several use case approaches, models with customizable add-on and off-chain elements. And as I said, it's excellent prototyping tool for distinct IoT and blockchain solutions, and can be easily extended to other use cases like charging electrical vehicles, arbitrary control of IoT devices, and all sorts of device-to-device transactions and interactions. So moving on to the next slide. This will be brief. It's a co-creation methodology to design effective digital solution with stakeholders. It's not a technical solution per se, but it's a service that is provided through some web tools that we promote, and it enables creating innovative products, services, and policies, and also business models that correspond with relevant stakeholders' needs, expectations, and motivations, and can be used in both private and entrepreneurial efforts to connect the business value to end users, and also in public communal endeavors of creating sensible solutions for all the citizens. A service provided with this so-called Zero Plus methodology combines socio-economic and environmental return on investment with open innovation. Okay, and the next slide is cloud DevOps design and consultation. Well, it's a consulting and implementation service that can be provided in distinct business and software development contexts, and based on specific organizations' needs, capacities, and nevertheless their digital strategy, we support the implementation of cloud data storage, processing, and automation services for open public and closed proprietary cloud systems. So the next one, so this is the IoT prototyping platform and also the consulting that goes with it. And this Colibri IoT is an open IoT sensor platform developed by teachers for students to learn basic IoT principles on real-life application. It's based on the Arduino platform and supports LoRaWAN connectivity out of the box, and enables a broad range of features using various off-the-shelf extension boards. Colibri IoT can be used to develop smart city, smart agriculture, smart industry, and other application prototypes in a fast and effective manner. Moving on, rMON, it's IoT Sensing Automation System. This is quite a large product platform. Actually, I will try to sum it up in a few sentences. It's a sensing automation system for industrial and outdoor environments supporting IoT devices and sensor deployments. It features a distributed architecture and comprises cloud-based management systems for remote gateways and sensor control, and an IoT gateway family with various communication modules like Wi-Fi, all the Gs, including 5G, LoRaWAN, and so on. A broad range of sensors, measurements, collectors, aggregators, and other facilitators, and also advanced analytics with visualization, system notifications, and alerting. Moving on to PPDRone, it's a 5G training and experimentation facility. Well, essentially, it's a compact 5G ready mobile radio core and cloud node to be deployed in the field as a portable solution for 5G communication services. It's one-of-a-kind facility for hands-on development, testing, and verification of 5G and also 4G network architectures and services with specialized features for public safety and critical infrastructures. It delivers the critical communication-grade environment where first responders, critical infrastructure owners, and their solution providers can run development, testing, and evaluation of novel generic PPDR radio and core networks and cloud infrastructures, or mission-critical video and data apps and services. Next slide. It's IMON. It's quality monitoring sensor. It is derived from the same family as the previous solution, but this one product suite is a testing solution for 4G and 5G quality assurance testing, benchmarking, and KPI validation of capacities of end-to-end quality monitoring and quality of service assurance for mobile fixed cloud infrastructures and services. As the 5G environment introduces new concepts of how next generation communication environments will be built and run in the future, this is quite an interesting solution to have the proprietary mobile portable exclusive 5G node and test and exploit full capacity of the 5G. Moving on. So we're at intervention monitoring system. I think this is the last slide. The IMON, like the name says, intervention monitoring system, is a product suite for real-time intervention monitoring and critical infrastructure protection. It's designed for use by first responders and public safety agencies and provides a common operational picture in real time and a lot of IoT supported intervention management tools with on-site sensing and tracking capabilities. And it has been piloted and validated in real-world environment in cooperation with actual firefighting squads, rescue services, and so on regional and local command levels, as well as the national headquarters center. So from our side, this is it. And for further questions, we may hear each other later. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jure, for your presentation. Before we start with Ikerlan's, with Jesus from Ikerlan, same as before, now you have another question popping up on your screen. So are you interested in the technologies that has been presented by Jure from Ljubljana? If the one is not, the one you're interested in is not, it says, properly mentioned, please select other and you will be in touch with Jure in the future. All right, so I'll give you a few more seconds and give the floor to Jesus.
Hello, hi, good morning, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Just
all right.
Second.
So,
yeah. The floor is yours, Jesus.
So, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here and have the opportunity to explain you some of our technologies from Ikerlan. Let's get started with a brief introduction of Ikerlan, which is a 40 years old private research technological center with a pragmatic research service and with a very close collaboration with industry. So more precisely, today I'm going to run through 4 technological offers where we keep a strong collaboration with several sectors such as transportation, manufacturing, or energy distribution. So first, I'm going to show you a slide for each technology, and then I will end up my presentation with some examples of our developments. So I will start with information and communication technologies, where we have 2 main developments. The first one is IoT and digital platforms with a set of connectivity capabilities from short range to long range, and also several protocols and interoperability strategies for industrial IoT. And we also have indoors and outdoors location capabilities and developments, and also what we call intelligence of things, where we implement inside of this intelligence of things capabilities for edge computing. Apart from this, we have data analytics and artificial intelligence, where we have smart digital platforms, highly scalable. We are developing our platforms and they are being scaled worldwide. Public and private hybrid cloud architectures. We have also artificial intelligence and data analysis of all these sectors, and especially for predictive maintenance, and also to create data lakes for data analytics. We interpret and we have data interpretability and artificial intelligence algorithms for these platforms, and we also have capabilities in order to develop chatbots, or what we can call also natural interaction with data. And within this topic, we have development of platforms based on microservices and serverless. So this is our offer in information and communication technologies. And let's move on to the next slide, which I think I have done already, which is dependable embedded systems. In this particular topic, we have our capability is in development of dependable systems by experts on safe software, engineering, and real-time electronics. As in the previous one of our main characteristics is robustness and reliability. And in this case also, we take this to the top, or to the maximum, in order to provide embedded systems developed certified for up to SEAL 4. We also have software development and virtualization for real-time control. It's really important for us, all the hardware, and we have developed tools and hardware and software in order to control real-time applications. We have automatic testing and validation, artificial vision for embedded safety, and also in order to describe our key performances, we have more than 20 years of experience on electronics and safe embedded systems. We have safety certified methodology under TÜV standards. We have uniqueness in terms of, for example, we have more than 10 functional safety engineers. We have 1 functional safety expert, which is a unique in Spain. So we are referential on development of advanced safe functionality executed in complex chips, in system on chips, multi-core, and GPUs. The maturity level, or the technology maturity level is pretty high. Although we have the different technologies at different levels, but pretty much we can say that we are employing this in the 7 number. And we have applications from development software for control units on transport, like traction or elevation in elevators. And also we have development of an application of up to SEAL 4 for certified applications in railway signaling, and virtualization of application and plants, like in elevators. So let's move now to the following one. This is the previous one. Yeah, so this is hardware and communication systems, where we have 2 main lines, the hardware systems and the communication systems. In terms of hardware, we move in this slide. What I wanted to highlight is those applications that are close to the physical state, are close to the sensors, and the processing of the signals close to the application itself. And in this case, we have hardware developments in sensors, in low consumption electronics, signal conditioning. So we develop applications where those sensors and nodes and IoTs require low consumption, for example. We also develop software software, operating systems, drivers, FPGA, and program logic. We are also working on this. And integration, this is an important part also in our expertise in terms of developing and integrating the application in real case scenarios and under extreme conditions and harsh environments. We also have non-functional developments like standard compliance. It's also an important part for us, and test and troubleshooting like EMC or electrical security and environmental. And in terms of communications, we have industrial connectivity, wireless and wired. We have real-time communication, but a hard real-time communication. This is very important for certain applications where we need very strict time control of certain applications, and we are developing our own protocols, and we also use external protocols to run that industrial applications. We work on antennas in terms of design, simulation, and characterization, and the verification and validation of wireless communication systems. So let's move to industrial cybersecurity. This is the last of our main technologies that I'm going to talk today. And this is industrial cybersecurity. It's an important aspect of all systems to take into account the protection of embedded electronic systems and digital platforms from the sensor to the cloud. As I mentioned before, basically our principle is to secure product development, to create evaluation of cyber in terms of cybersecurity, to provide a safe and cybersecure industrial communication and cybersecure cloud and user interfaces, which is also an important vector for breaching. The key performances is a security lifecycle and certification. We also work on trust technologies based on distributed ledger technologies, such as blockchain. We are having different projects on this matter with industry at this moment. In terms of our uniqueness, we can say that, for example, 35 methodologies and addressing compliance with product cybersecurity standards. We are very aware of how important it is not only to be cybersecure, but to be able to demonstrate that we are cybersecure, and our customers require not only to have cybersecure products, but also the capability of showing that these products are safe and secure and cybersecure. So this is also why we are very concerned of certification and standard. In terms of maturity, we have certain technologies more mature than others, but in general we have a kind of a 7. And applications go from cybersecure embedded systems evaluation and development, end-to-end industrial IoT cybersecure communications, or cybersecure digital platforms for CPS monitoring. So as you can see here, so we move from the sensor to the cloud. So I need to move now to the following one. Okay. So I moved twice. So Alice, could you help me out? Yeah, thank you. This is an example. We developed different platforms, digital platforms, and in this case, for example, I'm going to show you artificial intelligence powered platform where we have the capability to provide tools and develop artificial intelligence solutions, also based on edge computing, fog edge computing, dynamic architectures where the computing can go from the cloud to the edge, depending on the scenario, depending on the situation in real time. It is also powered by artificial intelligence, and it's built under microservices oriented to edge devices. Our unique features could be said that is artificial intelligence from fog to the cloud, microservices-based structure. So this makes a difference in terms to develop new devices on new platforms, and also it's based on and it reach edge computing. So it's very important for us to have all this power computing that we mentioned before, from the communication from the hardware, and to have at the edge, and to reduce delays, and to reduce any problem that you might have with communication, and in order and avoid lags or safety issues. So the maturity might be 5, and we have a heterogeneous cloud architecture with smart data lakes, microservices. So applications, we have Industry 4.0, smart factories, smart cities, smart living. But I like to also make one of our main focus or sector is industry, so and smart factories also. So it's also something that I like to highlight. This is another example, is an autonomous wireless sensor node, as I said before, with capabilities of computing inside, with low power, with 0 power actually, sense harvest at the same time, high processing capabilities, no need of radiator, and can be flexible, robust and synchronized communications. We have several transducers for sensing, like temperature, accelerators, wireless data, indoor photovoltaic off the shelf. So the prototype is working with RF. We have further monitorization in progress, additional sensing and optimization, and the key performances is our local data processing, our robust wireless communication based on TDMA, and up to minus 16 microseconds of accuracy. So one of our possible applications could be smart logistics, smart factory, impact, or temperature measurements. And also it's very crucial to mention that it's a robust device, it's a harsh environment ready, and that's why industrial environments or indoor sensing could be very suitable. So last slide is safe and real-time software upon commercial hardware. We have the capability to embed real-time and non-real-time software on safety certified context. The principle is to select a multi-core commercial hardware and integrate or embedded hypervisors. We have software development based on modeling, and also safety concepts based on industrial machine standards like ISO 13489. Our uniqueness value can be affordable cutting-edge hardware, simplification of complex software development, and safety capabilities. In terms of maturity, we will say it's a 6. It is integrated in a product already, but and our key performance is safety up to kind of level SIL 2, and our applications can go from wind turbine control, operation monitoring, or local recording or of key variables. So from our side, from Ikerland, this is it. As I said before, it's a very oriented to robust, reliable behavior. So that's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Jesus. So very quickly, before we move to the last presentation of today, this is the question regarding Ikerland. So you have very few seconds to answer before Andres takes the floor. All right, I will close in 3, 2, 1. Andres, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alice. My name is Andras Poppe. I work at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Informatics, Department of Electron Devices. So at our university, we are the so-called microelectronics guys. Actually, our department has been acting as a digital innovation hub for quite a while, starting with the EuroCPS project, with a couple of partners also participating here in DigiFed. What we are offering is a special expertise we gained in the last couple of years within a few European H2020 projects and or test facilities. The first offer concentrates on solid-state lighting on LEDs. It's about the smartification of hopefully already connected lighting solutions. The idea is, especially for street lights, that by a proper thermal-oriented design, you can consider the temperature-dependent efficiency change of the LEDs. And if you do this design properly, you would be able to save energy or power by considering, so not to make the worst case design of your lighting solution where you have to design for the hottest possible environment with the total light output, but you can consider the efficiency, temperature-dependent efficiency changes of LEDs through adopting the driving current of the LEDs within your luminaire. And in the bottom, you see a small diagram showing how the total light output of a given luminaire would depend on the actual ambient temperature. This diagram refers to the average climate in Hungary, somewhere in the middle of Hungary. So that's the orange set of curves. Whereas if you implement what we are proposing, the so-called constant light output or isoflux control of the forward current, you will have a constant light output. That's the purpose. And through that, according to the design constraints and the local climate, you can achieve roughly 8% power saving. What is the technology behind? The technology behind is the multi-domain characterization of the LED packages used in a lighting solution, completed with a so-called compact modeling of the LED modules and the complete luminaires, and performing virtual prototyping through these multi-domain models using something that we call the digital twin of the luminaire. Once you are satisfied with your prototype, you can, with this digital twin of the luminaire, you can do various things. You may perform optimization on the one hand. You can assess different design scenarios, but on the other hand, you can also identify the required temperature current relationship which is needed to achieve the constant light output. We provide test facilities for this purpose. So Alice, if we move forward, I'd like to give some insight into the methodology and the techniques we have. So please move forward. Yes. So on the one hand, we have the most comprehensive and up-to-date LED package testing solution available nowadays on the market. This is the means with which we can offer LED package characterization services. At the end of the day, we can provide you with the parameters of a multi-domain LED package model. Actually, these models, there are two such models already available in the public domain, available as set of equations or as LT-SPICE models. For such models, we provide the right parameters from the actual physical measurement of the LEDs. So that's what we call the digital twin of an LED package for a complete product digitalized product design process for LED-based luminaires. What else is needed? The concept of your luminaire is needed, perhaps in the form of an MCAD design, based on which we can help you set up the right compact thermal model of the luminaire. This, combined with the LED packages, multi-domain digital twins or simulation models, result in a luminaire level multi-domain model, and running through a series of simulations, for example, with LT-SPICE, we can identify the forward current ambient temperature function that would assure the right constant light output property for your luminaire. We have successfully carried out an industrial experiment with a local Hungarian small luminaire manufacturing company. Here you see the test results in the diagram below. The luminaire was put into the climate chamber of a test facility. This chamber was equipped with the proper light output measurement devices, and we measured the light output as function of the ambient temperature. And as you see, within a few percent, the light output remained constant. So what we offer is, on the one hand, the test facilities, on the other hand, the modeling capabilities and consultation. So we can help you implement this kind of constant light output approach for your luminaires. Your luminaires could be street lighting, tunnel lighting, automotive lighting luminaires. In certain cases for indoor applications, this also would be appropriate. I mentioned the test facilities, so let's move forward to our second offer. We have something that we call the versatile reliability tester or testing facility. The core of this offer is Mentor Graphics' thermal transient measurement technology through the Twister equipment that we have. And the idea is that for most of the reliability tests, power cycling or temperature cycling is a must. So the reliability testing protocols include such tests. Here I provide a link which is a typical description of reliability test protocols mentioning these cycling tests. And the idea which came from our team a couple of years ago, also within a European project, was that if you do power or temperature cycling, whatever you do, you switch on and off your devices. That's how thermal transient testing operates. When you switch off a semiconductor device, you switch off the power on a semiconductor device. You can measure the corresponding junction temperature transient, and from this junction temperature transient, you can extract thermal information, lots of thermal information. What we call structure function became a de facto industry standard in electronics cooling and power electronics reliability studies. This is kind of a map of the heat flow paths, and the change of the structure functions indicates structural degradation of your device. Based on this, you can set up failure criteria. So you can say that after X power cycles, your die attach failed, or other thermal interface material degraded to an unacceptable level. So what we offer is this measurement technique with different additional hardware to provide the actual test environment. So this way you can measure different power modules, RF modules, LEDs, different field effect transistors, etc. This is the very same test facility that we used in the previous example to identify the temperature dependent light output of a luminaire. So here you see a climate chamber, which is part of the test setup to provide temperature cycling. Power cycling itself is provided through the test equipment. There is already an industrial version of this methodology developed by Mentor Graphics for the IGBT industry up to power levels of multiple kilowatts. We do not have at our university lab such an equipment because it's too big for our lab, but we can, if you are interested in this technology, we can also give you some insight and details of this technology and advise you what actual solution you need. There is a white paper on a specific application example. It's a conference paper. So if you have free access to IEEE Explore database, you can download that paper, or I can also send this paper to you on request. How aging of MOSFETs was monitored with this technology. That is what we have reported in this paper. So altogether, what we offer is a mix of modeling methodologies and Industry 4.0 like workflow for LED-based products with required modeling, and we also offer the test facilities. On the one hand, set up your models, on the other hand, to assess the final performance of your products. This reliability testing solution based on power cycling and thermal transient measurements is applicable to different RF modules, sensors, PSUs, drivers, LEDs, FETs, as I've shown for LED luminaire assessment. And any solution that is being developed in DigiFed and the reliability is an issue, we can help you assess how reliable a product would be under harsh conditions, especially from a thermal cycling point of view. As I see from the previous offers, for example, from Jesus' presentation, multiple offers from DigiFed combined could really help you to set up your right smart and reliable solution. Thank you very much. So that's all from BME, from Budapest University of Technology and Economics.
Thank you, Andres. Thank you very much for your presentation. So last question, are you interested in the technologies that has been presented to you? You should see it on your screen right now. I'll give a few more seconds before I close the poll. And 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much for all these answers. So now, quickly before we jump to our Q&A session, I would like to introduce you to the United Against COVID-19 action that we support here at Blue Morpho, but also with the help of DigiFed. So United Against COVID-19 action is a voluntary action that aims to support the fight against this international crisis we are seeing right now. The goal of this action is to give visibility to solutions that could help health professionals and citizens in the fight against COVID-19. To do that, there is a call for solution that is open now with no limitation. All solutions coming from any type of organization will be assessed by the European Network of Health Authorities. So how to help in this action? It's quite easy. There are 2 ways to help. First, you could showcase your solution by applying to the call I just mentioned, or you could share the word on this action to your network. And once it's done, come back to us and become an official partner of the action. So you can see the link on the presentation to the 2 social media posts and to the website page. So don't hesitate to check it and see if you would have a role to play in this. It applies to a lot of application sectors like a hand washing solution, robotic solution for disinfection, community to keep the social link, oxygenation, machine learning, and AI, health monitoring, home health care, medication management, diagnostics. All solutions will be considered. So thank you very much for your attention. We will have a Q&A session now. I think Alex had to leave, but there was a first question for him that was, are you testing? Just a second now. So the first question for Alex, are you testing energy consumption for electronic device or only those involved in communication technology? So unfortunately, as I said, he had to leave, but he sent me a few messages. So he says that cost for access to hardware software of the lab is part of the experiment support if successful. All questions for Alex will be sent to him and he will come back to you via email. I think it will be easier. There's another question for Jesus. Do you support XMPP in your testing environment?
Hello, hi. Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. Do you support XMPP in your testing environment?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, that's the answer. Thank you very much, Jesus. There's another question. According to guide for applicants, funding will cover the development costs related to the hardware software integration for system integration project. Therefore, hardware design and development are not eligible costs. Is that true? Can you be more specific about eligible costs besides from personal cost, please? I'm afraid that would be something I would check with my coordination team, and I will come back to you via email as well. Same for the second question, Alexis, that you sent. As I said, I will check them with the coordination team and come back to you. All right, well, I think that's it for the question. Do you have more? For the proposal drafting, we need to be present. We need to present a real test bed. Is that a question for Alex, maybe? I don't know. So again, for this question, I'll come back to you, Claudio. Can we partner with Ikerland to develop for us an embedded system? Then we are going to integrate to our platform. Is that eligible experiment? If not, how can we make use of Ikerland's dependable embedded system service? Jesus?
Hello, hi. I'm afraid that I cannot hear you very well. The sound is not very good. Could you repeat the question, please?
Can we partner with Ikerland?
Or writing down. Or okay, maybe writing down if it's possible.
Okay, if the sound is not good, maybe what we can do is integrate the question to the frequently asked question on the website so that you can see the answer. It might be easier. We will come back to you with all the answers.
All right, because I am not able to know what you are saying very well.
Okay. Okay, well, for all the questions that have not been answered, we will come back to you with a written down explanation. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a very nice day, and we'll come back to you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.